Morning, Reverend, teachers, and boys. As the Reverend has mentioned in his sermon, what would you do, as Moses did, when you face life's great challenges and difficulties? What would you do? I would like to add a little story to continue with what we did in assembly yesterday. We remembered our boys who fought for our territory, for our community during the Second World War. I wonder if you had a chance to walk by the plaque in front, at the front entrance of the school hall yesterday or any time before that. When I walked past the plaques, I used to think that these names were not related to me, and these people who gave their lives were very, very old. But I had several chances to talk to relatives of these boys, and I've learned one or two stories about them. And I would like to share with you one particular story that is related to one of the names on the plaque. If you look at the column to my left, the second name from the top, James Macaulay, his brother, Edward Macaulay, is still alive and living in the UK. He came back to DBS and visited us once, and some of you may have heard the story. I'll tell you a little bit about James Macaulay. James was a prefect when he was at DBS. He played football, and he was a swimmer. And when he became a senior boy, he became our swimming team captain and our football team captain. After he graduated from DBS, he returned to the UK, and the Second World War broke out. What he did next was that he enrolled into the Air Force and trained in the academy and fought in the Second World War. He was deployed to Europe, where he flew bombing missions in Belgium. During the bombing missions, they would fly over Belgium to cut off Nazi Germany or Hitler's supply line, and fought for the Allies. While they were flying these sorties or flying these missions, they had other soldiers or other pilots flying with them, but very seldom would they communicate with each other because the mission was so perilous and so dangerous. They did not know whether they would be able to return after their bombing mission. And James Macaulay flew over Belgium and faithfully performed his missions. And after over 20 missions, he was shot down in the air by the Nazi military. And he was buried in Belgium. You can still visit his grave to this day in the military grave in Belgium. But you don't have to go that far to find boys who gave their lives to a greater cause. Even if you go to the Stanley Memorial, you will see many names of our old boys. Yesterday, the Reverend read out a poem called For the Fallen by Lawrence Binyon. He read out the second part of the poem that says, "They shall grow not old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun in the morning, we will remember them." But I would also like to share with you the first part of the poem, where it says, "These young men, they went with songs to the battle. They were young, straight of limb, true of eyes, steady and aglow. They were staunch to the end against odds uncounted. They fell with faces to their foes. They never backed down." Of course, we're not asking you to give your lives to a war, but I would like you to learn from these boys that they chose to give their lives to a greater cause. And to me, as I walk into the hall, when I walk around the main entrance, and when I see 4 or 5 plaques in front of the entrance, I find that this one, the War Memorial plaque, is the most important and the most meaningful, because these boys gave their lives to a greater cause. And I would like you to keep them in mind, and as you face life's difficulties and challenges, may the good Lord give you the courage and the confidence to face your challenges and that you would be staunch all the way to the end and against odds uncounted. Thank you.